Hello everybody, this is Excalibur of Excalibur Zone. Yep, I'm changing from Excalibur's Minecraft to Excalibur Zone because channel's going to eventually become more than just Minecraft. Well, today is a special kind of tutorial because I wanted to figure out how a certain block in the game works and how to get things working with a special contraption that helps speed things up when you're looking to get your resources built up. What is that? Well, let me just go ahead and flip to looking at all the horses and cows and pigs and sheep and turning around at the hopper. Yes, the hopper, that wonderful thing that picks up stuff when items are thrown upon it, that has an inventory space of 5, and that can be 5 stacks of items or 5 individual items. And hoppers have a certain... I am in creative, right? Yeah, I am. And hoppers have certain properties. One, when using a comparator, you can cause a redstone signal to emit from it by adding items into it. You would think that 5 items in there would cause this to go all the way out, but no. It actually goes based on the amount of said stack is there. As you can see, the redstone is slowly creeping further and further and further along, and it will do so as soon as it gets to a certain amount. How many of that amount? Well, there's 49, 48, 47, 46, 46. 46 items in here will cause the redstone to go far enough to turn this on, and that's 1, 2, 3 blocks. Well, and as you can see, 1 item in there does nothing. And when there's nothing in there, there is no redstone signal. So, how can we use this to our advantage? Well, you can see I've got a furnace here. Hoppers and furnaces work pretty interestingly together. Let's throw it on a chest. We'll go ahead and put a hopper into that chest. As you can see, when I just click on the ground, the hopper looks like a standard funnel. Things go on the top, they come out the bottom. You can actually shift click on an inventory, and items will travel from the inventory of the hopper out through the smaller end of the funnel. They transfer 1 item at a time into the available inventory that the nozzle is hooked to. So if we do that, see, it disappears from there, and we now have 2 furnaces in the chest. And that's the same whether it's north, south, east, west, or up. If there is an inventory above a hopper, the hopper will pull from that inventory and push out the small part. So push into an inventory. If there's no inventory for the item to go through, it will store the item. So we've learned that hoppers produce a redstone signal when they have items in them. We know that a hopper will take stuff from the top and push it down and out the bottom. And it will push it in the direction that the funnel is pointing, whether it's to another inventory. Well, it has to be another inventory. The inventory matters, as you'll see in the furnace. Or it will hold it times set 0. Or it will hold it in its internal buffer for as long as the hopper is there, or until there is an inventory underneath it. So if you had a hopper minecart that goes underneath a hopper, or a storage minecart or a furnace minecart, A hopper above or below, above or to the sides will push into the inventory presented, and if it's below, it'll pull from the inventory presented. Well, hoppers and furnaces work in a different manner. Let me just get this set up really quick. And we'll put it over to the side here so we can see all the hoppers from the front. Alright, let's grab us some items that we can smelt. And we'll do something like this here. We'll grab cobblestone. We can do any smeltable item. We're going to go down to materials and grab a stack of coal. It could be charcoal or wood or blaze rods or lava. And we're going to see what happens. So let's go ahead and put our coal up in the top and watch as it comes into the top of the furnace. Well, now the coal needs to come down here to the fuel spot. Let's take that out of that top hopper. We can't put anything there. Well, the only other hopper we have is here. And it is inserting into the furnace. Does that happen in every side of the furnace? Let's see. We'll put one there, and we'll put one there. So, where did that coal go? Is it in my survival? Yes, it is. There we go. So we know that if we put it here, it's going to go into the furnace. We'll remove that for now. Does the same hold here? Well, it's pushing down. Okay. So if it's on the face of the furnace, it also pushes in. How about the back? My guess is right there. Yep. And that's exactly what happens. Since this side and this side are similar, let's go ahead and put that in there. What happens? Just as I thought it would, it goes into the fuel slot. Alright, so we'll just leave this set up, since we know that this hopper pushes into the fuel. Now, this hopper we saw pushes things in the top. So let's go ahead and we're going to smelt 8 items. So let's take this hopper, put it here. We'll put our coal there. There we go. There's 8 items. We want to smelt those 8 items. Let's put it in the top, and we'll watch as it drains out and goes into the smelting area. Now, as you know, 1 coal smelts 8 items. So we'll watch this fill up as it pulls all the items from here, and it smelts each cobblestone piece. We know that smelting 1 item up here for 1 coal is pretty much, how shall we say, not a good thing. It wastes our fuel, and it's better to smelt at least 8 items at a time. We can use sticks. We can use blaze rods. We can use lava. I forget the exact number that lava and blaze rods and sticks do. We can also use wood planks. Those planks will also smelt items. I think it's 1 item per operation. Sticks is a half of an item per operation. Blaze rods, I can't remember. I think it's something like, I don't know, 24 operations per stick, and lava is 100 operations, something like that. I can't remember. Well, as we can see, our 64 coal, which I'm going to grab 64 more of, has lost 1 coal. We have 8 stone. And if you noticed, it was coming from here and it ended up in this chest. The only hopper pointing into that chest is the one underneath the furnace. So that means this hopper underneath the furnace pulls out the completed product and pushes it in the direction that the hopper's pointing. Well, a Titan SMP server, I have this set up. And I'm going to need that chest. I need to grab these guys. And I'll grab a stack. There we go. Need this, and we need this dude here. Yeah. So I'm going to put another hopper pushing here. That means that anything that goes into this hopper is going to go to this hopper and goes to this double chest. Got it? Okay. We're going to go ahead and put a furnace on top here. So we have 2 furnaces. That is awesome. So we are also going to hop up here, throw a hopper there. Now here's the awesome thing. We've already established that hoppers pull out of inventories. Well, a double chest is double the size of an inventory. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 16 cobblestone and plop it up there. You notice it's going out 2 at a time. If we could have been watching the hoppers, we would have seen just 1 item per hopper going down. And then if we look in each of the furnaces, each one has 8 cobblestone. So it's split up evenly, everything here. So that tells us that an inventory, no matter how large, depending on the number of hoppers pulling from it, will give those hoppers each an equal share. Now, if there's an odd number of items, I believe it's a random determination of who gets what, but I believe it's the dominant part of the chest will give the most, and the non-dominant, or the subservient, will give the least. So if we look here, there was 8, there should be 15 in here, but there's 16, there's 15. So this, the right hand, is the dominant part of the chest. So we'll go ahead and pull those out. There we go. Now this is what I have on the Titan SMP server. I lighten my load by putting 16 groups of 16 up here, so that 8 come here, 8 come here, and I've got coal in each one. And the coal, so whenever I put groups of 16 up there, it splits up the smelting. So 16 items smelt in the time it takes 8 to smelt. Well, what happens if we do this? We can't do that. We need to use a trapped chest. Let me grab one really quick. It's right down here. So there's a trapped chest. Now we can put 16 in there and 16 in there. Oh, also notice when you open up a trap chest, the cobblestone isn't flowing out. Why is that? Well, a trap chest will produce a redstone signal when it's open. And an interesting thing is hoppers turn off when a redstone signal is applied to them. Not only do they emit redstone signals, but when a redstone signal is provided to them, they turn off. Well, in any case, we now have 2 chests. Each of these chests have split up our 16 into 4 total. So we put 16 here, 16 here, 32 total cobblestone at the cost of 4. At the cost of 1 operation. So, well, 1 coal. So it's 8 operations for 32. Well, why don't we extend this to 8? Yeah, that'll work. Now, instead of 32, we can do 64. We can put 64 items. We go in here, we split this up into 4 total chests, so 16 each. Come up here, throw in our 16, throw in our 16, throw in our 16. This is starting to get tedious. Throw in our 16. Oh, okay, so we now have 16 and each one being split up evenly among two furnaces from each chest. As each one finishes an operation, the finished product will be sucked out and sent down the hopper chain. Don't believe me? Here, we'll go ahead and just simulate that. If we go here, we'll see stone, down here, 6, 7, 8. Those 8 stone we put in at the very end have come all the way down here. So, we now have 8 cobble in each furnace, right for 1 coal per furnace. Well, the unfortunate thing is, all these chests up at the top, it's going to become very, very tedious to split our stuff up and do it. I want to split it up evenly all the time. So let's go ahead and we'll take these out. Now, what happens if we take hoppers like this? Say we do that, and then we put hopper here. That's going to be the end product. Well, we'll just put a chest there. Why not? That works. Boom. So, we want to see what happens in this situation. And to do this, I'm going to grab a comparator, put it here, and a redstone lamp right there and there. Alright, let's go up here and we will put in all 64. Oh, these guys are getting something. That's getting something. What about these guys here? Well, let's get a building block. Hey, look, I've got stone. And we'll just put those building blocks here and here with a comparator and a comparator. Well, we don't want it in subtraction mode. We want it like this. Let's come down here and we will grab the stone out of the chest. All 64 cobblestone are there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plop those up there. Yeah. Now they're all lit up. So every single one of these hoppers, and I dare say even this last one, oh, that one seems to be full still. I wonder why. Well, they're all done now. So let's go ahead and we'll see how this works. Let's make it a little bit easier. We'll put a trap chest up here. We already know that a redstone signal keeps the hopper from working. So we'll do that, and then we'll watch as things have gotten different. Whoa, hold on a second. Only these hoppers are getting anything, not these hoppers. What does that tell us? Well, it looks like this bottom hopper is getting priority, because this is having items sucked out one at a time. This hopper's suck operation, suck happens before push. I'm going to refer to them as suck, which is pulling stuff from an inventory. How about pull and push? Yeah, there we go. Even though those terms suck. Anyway, a hopper will pull first, and then will push second if it can't, if nothing is pushing into it. What does that mean? Well, let's come down here. In the case where we had all the items up here, items were being pulled from this inventory. And then items were being pulled from this inventory by this hopper. Now, because this is being acted on and the single operation parameter of this hopper is to go down that way, the single item hits here. It is then pulled down here and then pushed and pushed. So pulled from here into here, one item at a time, then pulled from here into here, one item at a time, then pushed from here to here, then pushed from here to here. Now, when we put the items up here, we will see everything light up. Everything. But you're going to notice something. One, these guys are going to be doing all operations at all the time. So notice that went off really quick. That is because there were fewer items up here than there were here. The reason being, this hopper pulls from here. Since this hopper still has items in here while this is being pulled, it'll push. Now, items in here will get pulled from here. So this pulls down from there to there and then pushes. And while it's alternating, this thing says, hey, I'm pushing right now. Don't push anything into me. And this goes, all right, I'll push to the next one. And then it says, I'm empty. Let's pull. And what happens is very few items go across here because these two are demanding by pulling down from these inventories right here. And these guys, with double being pulled out of here, and we'll see that. We'll go ahead and put that in there, and we'll watch 2 items per operation being pulled out. Just like if we had a double chest over 2 hoppers. Because we have 2 hoppers. Those 2 hoppers just happen to be this one, which is pushing, and this one, which is pulling. Now, when the items get here, and we'll take a look at that as soon as... yeah, we can do this. Pull the items out of here and out of here. So if the items are in here, we're going to see the same thing. But let's look and see what happens. We'll look here. There's 1 item. And then here, there are no items. But this is lit up. Why is that? Because this is powered, that's why. Let's go ahead and do this. I think this will work. Yeah, that'll work. So we put things there, and I just want to double check to make sure. That's going to turn them all on because it's all being powered. Yada, 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 yada. Let's do that, this, and this. And try that again just to make sure that I'm not foobarring this up. Redstone is not my strong suit, by the way. And let's go up here so we can see all the lights. Yeah, it's still lighting up everywhere. But, as you can see, it went really fast and at about the same time. In any case, we're seeing a couple of things happen here. One, the number of hoppers, as long as there's 2 and they're working in tandem, right here it's like this is pushing and this is pulling. So it goes pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. If we put the stack back up in here and we look here, you'll see nothing ever gets here. That's all lighting up because of that block there, so we'll break that. And then we'll see. Yeah, that's actually pretty good there. So what happens if we take some glowstone and put it here, because that's a non-conductor, and we'll do this. Well, no, can't do that. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess we could do this and put wool here, a repeater so it doesn't connect, and then our lamp. We'll see what that does. Oh yeah, there we go. That actually works. And these are going to light up the same way because this one's powered and that one's going to be powered. So we'll just move this like so. And we're going to see that go off, and then eventually this will go off. So let's take a look at that full effect with the staggered light blocks. There we go. Go back over here, plop those up in there. You'll see these come on, and you'll see that it's a very small number of items. They're not getting here because this guy here is pulling while this is trying to push. There's only one item in there, so it's going to go down here and then into here. It's not like the priority of going down is more important than this. It's pull priority is higher than this hopper's push priority. Okay, so we've established some basic rules here. I'll grab that and clean up my mess, because we're going to go back over to our item and we're going to try my mechanism here, and we're going to try an experiment. Now, I saw this in Hypno's base on the Hermitcraft World Tour, and I thought, awesome, I want to do this in Tychon's world. So my first iteration was this. So as long as we lock these guys, the items will flow down here and then come here. So what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this brown wool. I like using red wool to show stuff. Now, first off, we need a comparator to come out the end here. So let's put the comparator right here. We need a block for that comparator to push into, and we need a way to propagate the symbol. So we'll do the signal. So we'll put our repeater here. So if there's any items in there, that'll turn on, powering this block. This will pull the power into here, and yeah, I realize I built it really close to my little monument, but that's fine, that's fine. And then we will put our redstone down here like this. Awesome. Now we just need a way to lock all the hoppers, and we do that thusly. So we do this. Yay. Oh, we don't need it there. So this should not transfer anything. And if we put something here, well, we'll say, yep, it'll have to be here. It'll disappear because it pushes it down here. Well, there was an item in there. Those should have turned off. Let me try that again. We'll do all 8 this time. And I will try not to break what's going on. So here we go. It works. It turns off all 8, and they turn back on when it's empty. We come down here, and there's 4. And there's 4 here. Huh. Oh, that's odd. Well, yeah. I know the answer. The answer is that, well, I'm not a dumbass or anything like that, if that's what you're thinking. Although, yes, I am. What's happening is this empties and the signal turns off, and this continues to power. Oh, wait. Why don't I do this? Same setup I had before. Okay? And we will put in some delays. We can delay signals, right? So we do this, put that on 4. Do this, put that on 4. Instead of having redstone there. And then we put our comparator. And then we put in our torches like so. Alright. Now if we click here, and let's grab those 4 from down here, because that's our test. And we throw them in here. Yeah. Alright. It's all turned off, and we see it turn off and turn on, and there's 3. Let's increase the length of the signal. We don't need this anymore, or that. What we'll do, we'll just do this. Yeah. Now we need redstone there. Beep, beep. And then here we go. And we will make these all 4. There we go. Alright. Now let's get those out of here and out of here. Alright. 8 going in. Huzzah! Signal starting. It's going off. And we have 7 with another in there. Okay. And again, I did it. Arrgh. Curse me. Alright. Maybe we need to increase the signal length a bit more. Yeah, that's it. We'll increase the signal length a bit more. That will do the trick. This is starting to get expensive in resources. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to see if this does what we need it to do, because everybody knows the more repeaters you have, the better the chances the signal will stay on longer. There we go. Now we'll throw in our 8 and we'll watch as it goes. Doot, 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 doot. And that's our signal length. Okay, all 8 should be there now. Yeah. All right, now let's come down here and let's give ourselves a chest to put items in here. And we'll put all 64 in. Now, if this works out well, everything should come down here. We should see a signal. It'll turn off. The signal will go out when that's empty. It'll turn on. There shouldn't be any... Oh, well, there it goes again. Alright. The signal goes off. Oh, yeah. There's nothing more left there. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. There should be 8 in each one. 24, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's the same one, 2, and 28. Oh, that's not very even, is it? Why is that happening? Well, what's happening is we are not using the hopper's properties properly. It doesn't matter how long the signal is, as long as these hoppers can have time to push items down and pull items down, these are not going to be even. This has to be a quick pulse, on and off, on and off, on and off, which is what we had with this set up right here. So let's try this again. Oh, we need it. There we go. Now, let's see what happens if we put the 64 in there now. We should see this come on and off and on, off and on. There's 1, 2. We should see 1 item pop in there. Everything pop on here. There we go. Look at that. And when it's done, let's see. We still have items. So it looks like it's getting an item here, pop. And getting an item here, pop. And getting an item here, pop. Every time those turn off, these perform a pull, which we know is far more, well, it's a higher priority than the suck, the push. So the pull has a higher priority than the push. So we get 1 item that travels down here. It gets to there. And then we have another item that comes down at the same time. So they're going down. So 1 item comes in here, boom here, then boom here, just like this. Clockwork. 1 item per like tick and a half or something like that. Half a tick. Once the first item gets here, it turns off everything. Pachow! All the torches go off, and then that's empty. And this performs a suck. So we have 1 item in each thing here, then everything sucks down, and then they're locked. So we should have 1 item in each hopper, which we shouldn't, because they should all be empty. But down here we have 7 in each. We're getting there. Yeah. Alright, so we do have 7 in each. It's doing everything as it's supposed to. The problem is it's missing that last operation. There we go. There's 42. There's 49. There's 56. And let's go ahead and give it that operation really quick. We can do it like this. No. Like that. There we go. And then we should see that everything is right back in here and we can suck up everything. Well, one thing is, what happens if there is a hopper underneath a locked hopper? Does a locked hopper pull or push or anything like that? Let's check the inventory. Okay, let's do a test. So here's 3 hoppers. We're going to go ahead and lock this middle hopper. And we're going to put an item up here. Just one. So its push operation is going to push down here. And then this is locked, so it's not going to do any operations, but it's an inventory, and this should perform a pull, which means that this is empty and this is full. It is. This here should be empty because this pulled from here. So if we put all 8 up here, we should see that they come into here and all 8 come down here. Why is this important? Well, it's important because if we have a couple of locked hoppers like this, and we have a way to detect when this hopper has something in it, like this, and we can turn off and turn on these hoppers as we need them. They should go down this way, get pushed in here and sucked out here. It should happen twice because we had 8 and we only have 4 hopper chains. So there should be 2 in each of these hoppers. None here and none here. Well, looky there. Now, what does that mean for us? Well, that means we now have a way, albeit resource intensive, to create our smelting array, at least transferring the items in. So let's take a look at this and improve it by raising all this up by 1 and throwing in another set of hoppers like this. There we go. Now if everything turns out right, and I will sit over here so we can watch as the operations happen, we should see these turn off 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there we go, and they stayed on. If we come down here, each of these guys should have 8. And let me pull them out as we go along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We now can smelt a stack of items, and the time it takes to smelt 8. Well, why don't we improve on this just slightly? This, by the way, is pretty much what Hypno has on Minecraft on the Hermitcraft server. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And you'll see why in a second. So we have to go over an additional one like this. So it's... we get our Peter comparator, or as Doc M would say, comparator. And now I'm going to take this stack and dump in 2. We already know that it's going to split up evenly between each of these. And as we see, the redstone torches are flickering on and off at a nice even interval. And that will happen 8 times because we have 8 hoppers and 8 furnaces. And if we look in each of the furnaces, we'll find that there are indeed 8 cobblestone. So we now do 2 stacks of items in the time it takes to do 8. Now that is pretty efficient if you ask me. This is the final version I have on Tycoon server. And I'm using cobblestone and stone and stuff like that, but this is basically the same with all of this down on the bottom and these chests removed. And instead I have a chest right here. Well, and then a hopper on either side of that chest going in. So all the items will come down here, go into here, into the chest, come down here, go into here, and into the chest. And if we had fuel in each of these, we could do it just the same. Now there's a problem with this because it interferes with hopper operations. Not too bad, but it does when you're dealing with fuel, and you've got to make it a little bit larger. I will do the fuel in another episode after I get those kinks ironed out. But if you make this your floor, and right here, it's just like you're in your normal base, just with a lot of hoppers. You can put stairs up there to hide these, and you just see these hoppers, but it's fine. You can always put stairs on the bottom, very good option, and then stairs on the top, and you can fit down through and you won't see any of the hoppers. Let me just do that. Whoop, whoop, boo, doo. Doesn't matter which stairs, we're going to grab the first set of stairs we see and spam them down. Now here's the tricky part. Yep, just as I thought. The problem is you have to be out of the way. You've got to be in the center channel. There we go. And of course the chest here is going to keep you from getting in and out, but you can completely hide the hoppers if you so choose. Alright, so let me turn the light on and I'll do a flyby here. Let me turn off the GUI so that you can see it. Hoppers. There's so much more you can do with them. You can use them with brewing stands, you can use them with chests, you can use them with your furnaces. But this episode was how can hoppers be used to smelt items quicker? And thus we have the smelting array. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned a little bit about hoppers as we experimented, and I showed you my thought process and how I figured things out, because, well, I can tell you it gets confusing if you don't experiment and fail from time to time and learn from what you've experimented on. We never would have known that you can push into the side the fuel and pulled out from the bottom and pushed in the top, and where it went in there without experimentation. So the next time you go into Minecraft and you want to work with redstone, experiment. Find out what blocks interact with torches. Find out what blocks can create clocks. And I can show you some clocks in another tutorial. Until next time, this is Excalibur. Enjoy playing games? If you like this tutorial, please click that like button. If you like the content I'm putting out, please click the subscribe. That really helps me out so I can find out exactly how many people are watching and appreciating what I'm doing here. Until next time, this is Excalibur, and I am out.